And joining us on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight, Major General D Bakshi, editor of the Indian Military Review, live from the National Capital. RSN Singh, author and strategic affairs expert, live from the capital as well. Sushant Sareen, senior fellow of the Vivekananda International Foundation, live from the capital. Saurabh Shukla, also live from Delhi. He's the editor-in-chief of newsmobile.in. Joining us from across the border, our Pakistani guest, Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, defense analyst from Karachi. Joining us from Islamabad is Lieutenant Colonel Shafqat Saeed. He's a defense analyst, and also on the Newshour tonight is Henna Saeed. She's an investigative journalist, live from Lahore. Henna, I'll come to you first. As a journalist, if you look at the sort of response that Pakistan has received over the last couple of days, especially following the ceasefire violations, we've had at least 10 ceasefire violations in 24 hours itself. 15 Pakistani Rangers have been killed. This has been confirmed by the BSF in India. Was the provocation worth it?
Now the question comes, where was the provocation caused from? Was it the Pakistani side or the Indian side? Because we have evidence that says that the firing has always been started from the Indian side, whereas your sources from the BSF say that the firing has been initiated from the Pakistani side. We have different figures of casualties and you have different figures. So of course there is this media clash, but on ground reality is that the firing continues across the border, and it is not a good sign in the current situation where the talks have halted.
Henna, I just want to bring put some facts on the table so that you take this forward, and RSN Singh will rebut you. Some of the facts I'm putting on the table is 2 civilians have been killed in Pakistani firing, and I can give you their names as well. Their names are a minor, a 6-year-old boy killed in the Aknur sector, Vicky. Vijay Kumar in the Palanwala sector has been killed. In the last 10 hours itself, there have been at least 7 ceasefire violations, and each of them have been recorded along the line of control and international border. So if you're asking for numbers, casualty figures, we have the numbers, we have the names as well.
We have names and we have casualties, we have the figures as well, but the point is, again, what I'm drawing your attention to, that there is this conflict of statements. We give a statement according to our sources. We have casualties here across the border. You have casualties there across the border. What are we getting out of this crossfire? It's not a game of figures.
Exactly, but
it's a game of human life. We are losing lives on both sides. So what are we getting out of it?
It is, Henna.
Who is initiating it? We're saying you're initiating it. You're saying we are initiating it.
And of course, this has been going on for virtually forever because Pakistan is constantly in denial about everything. Now, I'll ask you a simple question, and I'm going to go to Abid Rao and Shafqat Saeed also with that before we bring our Indian panelists in. Pakistan has categorically denied the killing of any Rangers. Now there's this extremely elevated, escalated, firing that's going on. We know that the BSF has said that they have killed 15 Pakistani Rangers. Pakistan laughably, completely denying this altogether, unwilling to accept that this has happened. And the fact is, Henna, and it's really unfortunate, every single time in the past, it's the same thing. Pakistan denied Ajmal Kasab was from Pakistan until someone as senior as your own NSA eventually admitted that he was. Pakistan refused to accept and own the bodies of its own officers who were killed in Kargil. Pakistan refused to accept that Osama bin Laden was living in Pakistan until he was killed, and they had to accept it. So, it's not just this instance. The world has constantly seen Pakistan denials on things which are facts.
India has denied everything that Pakistan says. It's a rebuttal of statements. I can say that the surgical strike never happened. Pakistan is saying that, and you are saying that the surgical strike happened.
No, I'm sorry.
We're saying that we fought a spy.
You're going to
say that there is no Indian spy.
Henna, I want RSN Singh to rebut you.
I want to confirm one thing on air. No Rangers have died. Civilian casualties. Civilian casualties have been confirmed on our side, but no Rangers have died.
No, 15 Rangers have been killed. 15 Rangers have been killed. We'll take that up. 15 Rangers have been killed. That's been confirmed. RSN Singh, respond to her. You can respond to RSN Singh. Let the Indian guest speak, and you can respond to that. RSN Singh, please.
Yeah. May I tell the honorable lady from Pakistan that initially when you were being questioned, you were telling the truth, and then you changed your mind and you changed tack. Now, lady, you are not doing a great service to Pakistan by concealing these facts. Now, about the casualties. Now, exactly the internal dynamics of Pakistan today, Pakistan is internally, you are aware, you are a journalist, is in a big upheaval, and that is because the genesis of it is your denial of the surgical strikes. If you analyze the whole situation in Pakistan today, leading up to the marches and this Imran's threatened that Islamabad seize on 02 November. This started once all your institutions were in a total disarray after the surgical strike. Now, what has happened,
whatever is happening
Madam,
in Pakistan has nothing to do with the surgical strike.
Of course it does, Hina.
And secondly,
Hina, it's a recorded fact.
Hina,
it's a recorded fact.
Hina,
it's a recorded fact.
No, madam.
Hina, you're a journalist. Hina, you're a journalist.
Story by Indian media and your leaders.
Madam, Hafiz Saeed is spitting fire against India. Imran is spitting fire against India. Imran is spitting fire against Nawaz Sharif. And Imran is singing praises, for the military. So that is the dynamics, madam. What has happened? You are living in a country where all institutional players, whether it is the military or the ruling party or the opposition, each one of them are wielding their own jihadi tanzeems. Now, madam, it's a very serious affair.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, you have whole life left in front of you. Now, let me tell you, things have come to a pass where politicians and the military is using jihadis to curtail each other's influence, so much so that Lashkar-e-Jhangvi's action in the police training academy was very much motivated by politics. We know the equation between Sharif brothers and the Lashkar-e-Jhangvi. We know the equation between Imran Khan and Saimul Haq.
Yes.
We know the equation between Islamabad and Lal Masjid, and we know that Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba
we know what happened in Quetta.
regiments of Pakistan military.
RSN
so
Singh,
you're doomed, madam.
Yeah, it is proven. It's known. And RSN Singh, let me bring in Colonel Shafqat Saeed with Sushant Sareen at this point. Shafqat Saeed, you will accept every time Nawaz Sharif has been put on the mat by political parties in Pakistan, every time there's been an internal turmoil, it is a recorded fact that there have been provocations at the border. It's exactly what's happening now. As Imran Khan, you first locked down Islamabad. You saw what happened there on the streets of Islamabad today. Today was a curtain raiser. We know what's going to happen on the 3rd of November. So every time there's an internal turmoil, there is proof that you've provoked, you've raised Kashmir and you provoke at the border. You open fire, you target civilians. That's happened once again today. Now, my question to you is, should Nawaz Sharif and the Pakistani army be more concerned about what's happening within Pakistan than open fire at the border?
What is your question?
I asked you a question. Should you be looking within?
This was a statement that you made.
I don't think you heard me.
Okay, let me repeat my question. There is a problem in Pakistan.
Let me repeat my question.
Firing on the border.
Should you be looking within? Okay, my question in 4 words. Should you look within?
Look, whenever there is a problem in Pakistan, India wants to escalate on the border so that it adds to the problem. And this problem, whatever is taking place in the streets of Islamabad, is of no concern, or it in no way affects Pakistan standing against India, or the situation in Kashmir, or Pakistan's stand on Kashmir.
Once again, you bring up Kashmir.
The Indian effort is always...
Once again, you bring up Kashmir.
Kashmir is there.
Shafqat
Why
Saeed.
bring it? It is already there. Don't close your eyes. Don't be in denial mode.
Let me bring
Pakistan
you to
and Indian confrontation is because of Kashmir.
Sushant Sareen,
there is no other problem.
1 second,
we don't hate your belief. We don't hate the Indian
Pakistan's official statement is that India is trying diversionary tactics to take the world's attention away from Kashmir. Well, let us remind our Pakistani guests here tonight right?
Yes,
The world's attention
whatever
is
you are
not
doing in
at
Pakistan,
all on
Pakistan,
Kashmir.
you
The
want to
world's
divert the
attention
world
is on
attention from
Pakistan
Kashmir.
being a haven
You
for
can't
terror.
keep Kashmir
The
in
world
the
is
closet
not
anymore.
interested in discussing
No,
Kashmir
the world
at all,
knows
sir.
about it.
So stop
The
bringing
world is
it up.
realizing it.
Sushant
And very
Sareen,
soon
please
you will have to stand the
your
world.
response to
You
Shafqat
have to
Saeed.
confront the world on the atrocities that you are
Shafqat
conducting.
Saeed, listen to the others also, please. Sushant Sareen.
Keep rambling.
And you will have to
He just
realize
keep
the
rambling
Kashmir
endlessly.
aspiration.
There's no point.
You have
Shafqat
to
Saeed, let him speak.
submit to the
Shafqat Saeid, I'll give you your
He
fair
just tries
chance.
to filibuster
Shafqat
the
Said, we'll
whole
give you a fair
argument.
opportunity. Shafqat Said, you can speak,
He
but
just
after
tries to
Sushant Sareen.
filibuster the
Yeah,
whole
आप
thing.
कहाँ की कलाब कहाँ मिला रहे हैं नवाज शरीफ और इमरान
we'll
खान?
speak. Yeah, we'll give you your opportunity. Sushant, go ahead.
You know, it's very difficult to have a rational discussion with, somebody who's just yelling and just filibustering the entire argument. But let me try and do something about it. See, here is the thing. There is an internal turmoil in Pakistan, and it's a given fact that in Pakistan, very often when the internal conditions get actually very, very sticky, they try and open up a diversionary track, and they try and, excite the situation as far as the borders are concerned and the line of control is concerned. This is precisely what is happening right now. And there is a pattern to this. This is not just with Nawaz Sharif, it has happened with successive governments. So there is this pattern to this. Now the problem with this kind of a thing is that at a time when the Pakistanis are trying to bring this Kashmir thing onto the international front, they want this kind of aggression on the borders. They want this kind of firing on the border because then it fits in with their other narrative that they want the international community to step in because they want to give this message that otherwise, this is so-called a nuclear flashpoint. They want to scare the rest of the world to step in.
Yeah,
now,
but look at the contradiction and the irony in the situation.
One second, let me just complete, Tina.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
See, the thing is, so that is the game plan. That is what they want to do. But what has happened is that over the last 30 years, people have in the rest of the world have seen through this game, which is why when the Indian side announced the surgical strikes, the reaction from the entire European community, from the Americans, from the Russians for that matter, even the Chinese more or less kept quiet about it. They said, you do what you have to do. And so that is something which has taken them really by shock. But they're continuing on that same track. I don't think this is going to pay them any dividends. But of course, this also fits in with what is happening domestically because I don't think Nawaz Sharif is the guy who can command the army to start what it is doing on the borders. I think it is the army which is doing it because the more you show to the country that there are very, very troubled situations on the border, there will be a clamor that you can't change the commander of the Pakistan army at this point in time. So I think it fits in with that narrative as well, which is underway.
And Sushant,
then of course there is this whole political turmoil.
Yeah, okay, Sushant, let's get Abid Rao to come in, Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao. So once again, Sushant Sareen underlining the fact that when there is internal strife in Pakistan, the obvious attempt is to try and divert the attention onto the border, which is why the escalation goes up. Now let me also tell you, taking off from what Shafqat Saeed was saying earlier, bringing up the issue of Kashmir as always. If Pakistan says that it speaks for the Kashmiris, what about the fact that these ceasefire violations are killing Kashmiri civilians? You say that you speak for Kashmiris, you are killing these Kashmiri civilians. You heard that girl right at the start of the Newshour today where she was saying, Pakistan, why don't you fight our army and our armed forces? Why are you coming after us? We are civilians. Just a few days ago, a 6-year-old Kashmiri boy was killed. You claim to speak for these people?
Just give me 1 minute without interrupting me. Okay, first of all, let me agree with you on your first 2 points. That a lot of people, civilians, innocent people are dying on both sides. We are also claiming that our people are dying, you are also claiming. But your army takes credit for killing some rangers or Pak army personnel or some of our posts. So does our army. This is common between the two countries. Only a third agency like UN MOGIP, the military observer group, which India has made irrelevant, could have decided who initiates the firing and who gets what damage. Number one. Number two, your media is very strong, very good. Right from Akashvani days, your propaganda machinery is very good. So what's your point? It is very effective because you use it in such a way. This side,
Air Vice Marshal, what's your point?
They don't tell lies when it comes to India. Number three,
What's your
We
point,
also
sir?
complain that whenever
They don't
there is
tell lies when
internal
it comes
turmoil
to
in
India,
Pakistan,
but we tell
starts
lies
firing at
otherwise.
LOC.
We tell
I
lies when it
understand
comes
your
to Osama bin
sensitivity
Laden.
that
We tell
Kashmir
lies on other
is
fronts,
referred
but
as
we don't
LOC.
tell lies when it comes to India. What kind of an argument is that?
On the 16th of
So Kashmir
December,
will come regardless.
Air
Sushant
Marshal
Sareen.
Abid Rao on the 16th of December 1971, your newspapers were publishing that your army is winning the war.
I understand your
and you are telling us you don't tell lies
Yeah.
to your people. You people in 1999 at the time of Kargil, you refused to accept that it was NLI troops which were dying on those heights. The Time magazine had come out with an article that
but your propaganda overall, let me give credit to your media. You fight better than your Ministry of
Sushant,
External
you spoke of a
Affairs.
pattern.
You carry your political objectives.
Let me know.
Even military.
Niranjan,
Your
let me tell
army
you a
doesn't talk
story.
of surgical strike, but your media talks. There was no surgical strike, but you needed that story for your
Abid Rao, please listen to him. Abid Rao, please. Abid Rao, please don't speak over each other.
The entire documentation of the people who have died.
You can
the
say that.
Pakistani DGMO
Abid Rao,
refused
please.
to accept those documents.
Nobody in the
Then
world has
during
done
the
that.
tea ceremony,
It is impossible
he said,
that
"Sir,
so many
please give
Indian
it to me
soldiers come on our
silently
side
because I don't
and
want
they
to
go
accept
back
it
without
openly."
even losing
Because
one.
you know it's very embarrassing
It is
for us.
impossible.
Now,
Abid Rao,
Air Marshal
okay.
Abid Rao is saying
Sushant,
that they don't
Sushant.
lie. They only lie to their people.
Yeah, Sushant, you know,
They've
we spoke
only
of...
lied to their people. They've
exactly.
never done
We spoke of
anything else.
propaganda.
You lie
Sushant,
to the
earlier...
people, continue to do that.
Abid
I
Rao,
don't
please
mind that.
don't speak over each
It
other.
doesn't
I
hurt us.
request our panelists, we are giving each one enough time to make their point. Please do not speak over each other. Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, please do not speak over each other. So I'm not sure whether
Because
you're getting the audio
you
clear.
interrupted me.
1 second, please don't speak
I
over
did
each
not
other.
conclude
I have to
my
bring our other
statement
panelists
when,
in. 1
all of you
second.
jumped in.
I have to bring our other panelists in. At this point, I'd like to bring in Major General D Bakshi, and we'll go across to Saurabh Shukla next. Major General D Bakshi, you know, I want to take that point that Sushant made a little bit earlier about the patterns as far as Pakistan is concerned. The patterns, since he was talking about 2015 and 2016, I have patterns. In fact, we have patterns of how Pakistan has opened fire just before Diwali, and it's not a joke. 2012, 2 days ahead of Diwali in 2012, there was a major infiltration bid foiled in Uri sector. Army spent a significant amount of time in the lead up to Diwali in 2012 in combing operations along LOC. 2013, the trend has gone back as far as 2013 when Pakistani army indulged in unprovoked firing along the line of control 4 days ahead of Diwali using automatic weapons. 2014, back to repeated ceasefire violations along the line of control and the border. In fact, you also resorted to firing along the international border in Samba, Kathua and Jammu. This was in 2014. 2015, 2 days before Diwali, Pakistani Rangers violated ceasefire along the international border. We had to resort to retaliatory firing. There's a pattern to everything that happens. Of course, there is a pattern to them provoking us at the border now because of the internal turmoil, but there's a pattern to them doing this before Diwali.
Let a third party come there and decide who is the culprit.
Abid Rao, let Major General J.D. Bakshi speak. I'll give you your chance. In fact, I want the other panelists to speak as well.
Statement. You don't take my statement. Why should I take your statement?
Sir, I just told you I will listen to you. Sir, I'll give you a fair opportunity. I'll give you a fair opportunity, but let Major General J.D. Bakshi speak.
India and Pakistan cannot.
Air Marshal Abid Rao, can I kindly? I have not spoken in this whole debate.
Air Vice Marshal, please hear him out. I'll give you a chance. Yeah, Major General J.D. Bakshi.
Like, now, I would like to state that there is a certain amount of civilized behavior between nation states. On the occasion of Eid, our BSF troopers, our army boys always go and offer sweets to their counterparts on flag meetings and the others. Well, this is our behavior, and the response that we get is, as you have so well documented, every year before Diwali, without fail, they open fire, and primarily on our civilians who have no bunkers, who have no trenches to get into, to just kill. The same civilians of Jammu and Kashmir, they, over their human rights, they spend all these crocodile tears. But may I please, can I finish? I would like to state here, there is a very specific date. 29th of November, General Rahil Sharif is to retire. He is very much loath to get his marching orders from Nawaz Sharif, the man who he had reduced to an absolute pathetic figurehead. He dislikes that idea, and the easiest way for him to ensure that he gets an extension is to open fire, to activate the line of control, to escalate.
Absolutely. Major General, you spoke about
one man
Major General J.D. Bakshi.
You are going to risk a war.
Yeah.
If you are going to risk a war, well then it is their lookout. You
Absolutely.
will get the worst of it.
Well, that's what we started the program by asking that question, and I want to bring back, let me bring in Saurabh Shukla with Henna Saeed at this point. Saurabh Shukla, we spoke about, we started the program by saying, did you have to violate ceasefire? Say 50, you've lost 15 Rangers. We did not start this, and it's on record. We have facts to prove that. But my question is talking about the pattern. Of course, we spoke about one pattern where before Diwali, every year they have opened fire. There is a norm that armies follow as far as Pakistan is concerned, falls short on this one. But there is also a pattern that every time Pakistan is pushed into a corner, they are provoked and they open fire. And this is one such example. Of course, it comes 39 days after Uri. It comes after what's happening internally, and it comes a day after one of their spies was caught with sensitive defense information, including BSF deployment. Saurabh Shukla and Henna Saeed will respond to you.
Niranjan, this is a few days before Diwali. Diwali is the biggest Indian festival. This is not only a cowardly behavior, but completely uncivilized behavior on part of Pakistan. There is a pattern to it. Every time there is a big Indian festival, they try to provoke us. Clearly, Pakistani army obviously have got an egg on their face after India's surgical strikes, and certainly they want to divert attention from what is happening domestically, because there is an extreme bankruptcy in Pakistan. There are people in Pakistan, young people in Pakistan, who are questioning their policy of terrorism. There are people, ask these Pakistani panelists, why is that their family members, their young people today shun the Pakistani passports? They are going abroad. They don't want to study in Pakistan because of the policies their army and their government has. And the fact is, they are consistently provoking Indians by doing this, killing innocent civilians.
Let's go back to
You're not
Henna
going
on
to
that.
get anywhere.
Yeah, Saurabh Shukla, let's go back to Henna on that. And Henna, just coming to you with the 2 points largely made.
Yes.
Just let me add to that question before you respond, Henna. The 2 points largely made. One, firstly, we're talking about if you say, for example, that there were no surgical strikes, why is it that the ceasefire violations have so suddenly escalated immediately after those successful surgical strikes? There have been 55 just since then. Secondly, can you deny that there is internal strife in Pakistan? As we keep speaking of this pattern, isn't there internal strife? Isn't there massive political turmoil going on within Pakistan right now? As a journalist, you have to at least concede to that.
Saurabh, I'll reply to what you said about Diwali. We have just gone through our holy month of Muharram, and in Muharram we are very peaceful and very quiet, and it's a month of respect. So we would not violate our month of respect. And no, let me complete first, please. And it's your Diwali. We have we have non-Muslims here as well. We have Hindus as well. So my question to you is, who decides who striked first? You would say we started the firing. We would say you started the firing. So there should be a third party that decides which side started
but
the
Pakistan doesn't
first.
have a record or a history of believability. No. I gave you some examples right at the start. On what basis can Pakistan any claim be believed? Because whether it's been Hafiz Saeed's terror links, whether it's been Osama bin Laden, whether it's been Ajmal Kasab, Pakistan's official line has always been one of denial. What reason has Pakistan given the world to believe any of its official lines?
Let me complete. We have our facts and figures. We know every time the ceasefire has been violated by India. You say it's been violated by Pakistan. So this argument is going nowhere. Let's not go ahead with this argument. What Saurabh said about the turmoil going in Pakistan, it's not about the army or anything. It's about the Panama leaks. It's about the corruption, and we want, the people of Pakistan want the leaders to be accountable.
Well,
so
Henna,
it's a war
it's a recorded fact. Henna, I'm sure you'll agree it's a recorded fact. Saurabh, before you come in, Saurabh, before you come in, I want to make a small point. Saurabh, before you come in, small point to Henna.
Niranjan, I want to come in here.
Yeah, you can. 1 second. I want to make a small point to Henna.
Don't shout. There's no point of shouting.
Nobody's shouting. Henna, I'm trying to make a point to you before you go ahead. I'm trying to make a point before you go ahead.
Let me complete.
I've let you speak for over 1 minute now. Just 1 second.
Indians go abroad for studies. Indians go abroad for employment, everything.
I'll give you 20 seconds to make that point. 20 seconds and I'm coming in.
A place to live anymore. Similarly, Pakistan is fighting its own internal fights. So why would we start another fight at the border? We are fighting against corruption.
Please, for God's sake, Hina, okay, I've given you enough time. Let me bring in. Okay, one second. Let me bring in Sushant Sareen. So Saurabh, one second, because she spoke about who provokes whom. I want to bring in Sushant Sareen and Sushant. Let's address the facts. And Colonel Shafqat Saeed, I want you to debate with Sushant Sareen at this point, because she spoke about the provocation, she spoke about the need. I mean, who started this first? For God's sake, let's talk about what's been happening in Kashmir in the last couple of weeks. You had the Pampore attack 18 days ago, October 10, 2016. We know what happened there. Your terrorists were holed up for, I think, 52 hours. We eliminated them. Baramulla, there was a terror attack. We know who was behind that. 68 rounds, all 3 terrorists killed. Naugam terror attack, October 5th, we know what happened. And in Handwara, we know what happened. So there is a pattern to what you've been doing. Of course, we spoke about the pattern before Diwali, the pattern on how every time you're up against the wall, this is your one-stop shop to sort of divert everything. Rake up Kashmir or open fire at the border to sort of ensure that the entire country and your media's focus is on that. Now you have 4 or 5 terror attacks as a build-up to this. Sushant, do you see this as well, to the pattern that's been followed to Pakistan?
I think you missed one pattern which is playing out in Kashmir, which is that of burning of schools. Now that is the pattern which has also been done by Pakistani terrorists inside Pakistan and also in Afghanistan. So I think let's not underestimate the Talibanization of Kashmir as well, because that is part of the radicalization process which has been fueled into Kashmir to make it some kind of an Islamist movement, which is what it is increasingly becoming. So that's a pattern you should not ignore. As far as this whole business of third-party intervention, that is an old Pakistani tack, that you bring in some kind of a third-party mediation because they know that the Indians are not going to agree to it. And this is also one of the reasons, which is what I was alluding to right in the beginning, that the reason the Pakistanis are upping the ante right now is because they think that if you bandy this kind of a threat around, there could be some kind of a third-party intervention. Now, what the Pakistanis are not understanding is that what they cannot get in direct talks with India, they cannot get a third-party intervention or third-party mediation or third-party monitoring through the back door. That is one point. And the second point is, even if supposing the third party is there to monitor it, what is the mechanism by which they will monitor whether in Palanwala which side fired first? There is no earthly way of monitoring who fired first. Number one. Number two, please remember that when the ceasefire held on from 2003 to almost 2010-11, remember that there was no firing from either side. Yeah. So when the two governments or when the two armies decide that there is going to be no firing, there is no firing.
Exactly.
So the Pakistanis are being rather disingenuous on this whole issue.
Yeah. Okay, Sushant, I'll go across now. To Abid Rao and Shafqat Saeed on that.
We can't accept a third-party mediation because the third party mediates in its interest, not in our interest.
Also, Sushant, I want to add to that, Shafqat Saeed, coming to you, the fact is that you keep talking about third-party mediation, but the world's stand on what is happening here is very clear. What happened on the sidelines of the UNGA, for example, the US Secretary of State John Kerry said in as many words, told Pakistan to stop providing safe havens for terrorists. And this has been happening repeatedly. Let me tell you, US Under Secretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Adam Zubin also warned Pakistan's ISI against they must take action against all terror networks which are active on its soil. It was just 15 days ago, in fact, US State Department spokesperson in a very stern message to Pakistan urged it to take action to shut down areas of access of areas inside its borders to terrorists. Now, these very clear messages are coming from the world community, Shafqat Saeed, to Pakistan to shut down its terror workshops. What more explicit message do you need? This is not India. This is coming from the world.
Ma'am, whatever you are saying, if that was correct and that is fact, then Pakistan would have been facing sanctions by the international community.
I am not, it's not me saying it, I'm quoting,
like Libya or Iraq or North Korea.
I am quoting people
but whatever
like
you are
John
saying
Kerry.
And whatever is in your, please have courage to listen to the answer.
I will listen,
the
but I'm
problem
just trying
is that
to
you
tell
ask
you,
and then you can't listen to the correct thing.
I'm
please
quoting
listen to
official
it.
statements.
Please listen to it.
Yeah, okay.
I am giving you the answer. Listen to me. That might be not, you might not agree to it. Don't agree to it. But courtesy
Sir, she was only trying to make a point, sir.
I have not even completed my first sentence and you start interrupting.
Sir, please go ahead. She was trying to make a point.
I want to tell you that if whatever you are saying is correct, Pakistan would have not been in this state. Pakistan would not have been the forefront country in the war on terror. Pakistan would not have enjoyed the confidence of complete international community, less India. And whatever we in Pakistan are suffering, this political turmoil which is between PTI and PMLN.
That is a joke.
It is.
The children.
You know, I'm sorry, but that is a joke. What you're saying now, that Pakistan enjoys the international community support against India.
And why India is doing all this?
Okay, D Bakshi wants to come in on this. Major General D Bakshi.
The attack in and everything is to keep कश्मीर जरा साहब आप लोगों में बात सुनने की हिम्मत है ही नहीं उसकी बड़ी वजह यह है कि आप लोग सारा का सारा झूठ के पलंदे पे खड़े हैं
क्या झूठ
आपके पास जमीन नहीं है खड़े होने की
Shafqat Saeed you said you enjoy I'm sorry Shafqat Saeed you said you enjoy
thank you now can
okay General D Bakshi respond okay respond sir we come back after that
okay thank you Colonel Shafqat Saeed can I kindly have a word
आप मुझे बात कर रहे नहीं
thank you can I kindly have a word
आपको बीच में करें बात thank you very much
Look, the unfortunate reality, Colonel Shafqat Saeed, is if there is any terrorist incident anywhere in the world, I'm afraid it is traced back to Pakistan. Whether it is Manhattan and the pressure cooker bombs that man was taught, he was taught in Quetta, all right? And the bombs were exploded in Manhattan, United States. Glasgow, you look at it wherever, and the threats can all be traced back. All your South Asian neighbors, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, refused to come to the SAARC summit. Have you paused to reflect why?
They did not refuse. It was India which compelled them not to come.
So one second. Major General.
Colonel, let me please finish.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken the whole debate. Okay, what I was trying to tell you was that in the Shimla agreement, we agreed to resolve all disputes bilaterally. It was a signed agreement, right? And thereafter in 2010, the UN Security Council said they are taking it off the list of disputes and let it be settled bilaterally between the two countries. Your effort has been to internationalize this dispute anyhow by trying to raise the bogey of a nuclear flashpoint.
Yeah, not just that.
Creating a problem and inviting the whole world's attention there.
Yeah, Major General
You
Bakshi.
create that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I take your point there. I want to bring in RSN Singh. RSN Singh along with Henna. Henna, you know, I want to put a few facts on the table because this is taking off from what Colonel Shafqat Saeed said that you enjoy the world support, which is the biggest joke. Let's put some facts on the table. And he spoke about what has been happening in the subcontinent and that India asked SAARC nations to pull out. Some facts before we take this forward. Here are some of the facts. Bhutan said boycotting SAARC. The royal government of Bhutan shares the concerns of some of the member countries of SAARC on the deterioration of regional peace and security due to terror and joins them in conveying inability to participate in the SAARC summit. Bhutan on record, it's a statement. Maldives pulling out of SAARC. We condemn Uri attack. We want to work closely with India on counter-terror. This was Maldives pulling out of SAARC. Maldives, by the way, is very close to China, which is your ally. We know what UK has done. There's a petition on the UK website which wants Pakistan to be declared a terror state. Now, there's a petition. There was a petition in the US as well, but the UK petition is gaining traction. We know what's been happening in the subcontinent. Your neighbor, Afghanistan, has been speaking out on record, one of the first countries to say, yes, let's pull out of SAARC, unwilling to participate in SAARC in Islamabad. And we know what Sheikh Hasina and the Bangladesh government is saying on record. India has got all legal, internationally accepted right to make a response to any attack on her sovereignty and her soil. So the SAARC countries themselves have sent you a message that you are a rogue country and it's difficult to work with Pakistan in the subcontinent and in SAARC. Henna, you spoke about realities. These are some of the realities.
SAARC was meant for peace, and peace is nowhere in all of these allegations that you put on Pakistan.
I just read out the statements.
Uri attack had nothing to do with Pakistan. You put it on Pakistan, but we didn't retaliate. We didn't put the Quetta attack, the blame on India, did we?
Of course.
No. We do not
Jangvi.
play the blame game. we go by the facts. You go by the propaganda. It was India who started the propaganda for the SAARC countries, and then one by one all the countries.
1 second. Hina, is Lashkar-e-Jangvi a Pakistan terror group?
Not host the SAARC summit.
Is Lashkar-e-Jangvi a Pakistan terror group?
After Pakistan? This
Hina,
is
you're an investigative journalist. Hina, you're an investigative journalist, right? You're an investigative journalist, right, in Pakistan. I'm asking you a question. Is Lashkar-e-Jangvi a Pakistani terror group or not? Yes or no?
Allow me
India
to come
can say
in. Allow me to
anything.
No, I'm not saying it. Your own media is saying it. What are you talking about? Hina, go to google.pk and go to your news section. Lashkar-e-Jangvi has taken responsibility for the attack in Quetta that you refer to. Lashkar-e-Jangvi has taken responsibility for the attack.
Responsibility of an attack.
Can I come in,
that
please?
Yeah, RSN Singh, you want to respond? Go ahead.
Conducted the attack. Sometimes after an attack, 2 or 3 organizations take responsibility of an attack.
Please,
So
for
how
God's
come
sake, Hina.
I have
going
a
to
few-
Don't expect that from a
who is
journalist.
Actually taking responsibility of the attack.
No, nobody.
No doubt what you're saying, that the origins are said to be from Pakistan. But who goes down there and
So then don't blame
investigates
India,
what's
Hina.
right
You
and
can't blame
what's
India
not?
for it.
It's your
You can't blame India
propaganda.
for it. No, you can't blame
It's
India and say,
your
you know what, we
word.
did not
We
blame
are not
India. For
blaming-
God's
we
sake,
are not
everybody knows
blaming
that
India.
it happened from
we
within.
We are not blaming India. I'm saying about the strategy. India's strategy is always propaganda and useless information.
Please, for God's
in the
sake,
name
Hina,
of
talk on facts.
But
Please speak on facts.
Hina,
No.
Niranjan
Please,
just
speak
read
on
out
facts.
to you. 1 second, Hina. I have to come in here because Niranjan just read out to you the
allow me to come
official
in, please.
statements from all those countries who pulled out of the SAARC summit slated in Islamabad.
But
Those
it
were
was
the
all
official
after India's
statements.
propaganda that
How can
those
you call that
countries gave those
propaganda? This
statements.
is not even India. These are other countries and
Why
their
not
official
propaganda?
statements. RSN Singh, please respond.
After you blame Pakistan for the
See,
Uri attack and you convince other countries
Madam.
that it is Pakistan that is behind all these attacks, then how come
Madam.
the
Okay, Hina, let
countries
RSN Singh make his
go
point.
after India
May I
and
request
Hina, you've had your
say,
time. Let RSN Singh make his
when
point.
you present baseless facts
Okay,
to those
Hina,
countries,
Hina,
they're
I've
gonna
countered you on
agree to
facts. Let RSN
what-
Singh make his point.
Oh
Just
my
give me one.
God.
Okay,
Oh my God.
Okay,
fine.
20 seconds,
Just-
20 seconds,
just
20
give me
seconds,
one
make your point.
Madam.
20 seconds, make your point. Hand it to
Okay,
RSN, please.
I'm concluding. I'm
Oh,
concluding.
oh my-
with one
oh my
question.
God.
Let me speak. What was
I
the
can't.
purpose of
Either you put her feeder low. I've been requesting her.
Okay, RSN, she's conceded.
Stop
Please
shouting.
go ahead.
I'm just saying,
No,
what was the purpose of
अरे मैडम
SAARC?
आप क्या कर रहे हो आज?
RSN,
आप क्या कर रहे हो मेरे
RSN
साथ?
respond. Yeah, RSN respond. Yeah.
Madam, lady, I have some very simple questions to ask you and the Pakistani panelists. My first question is, and give me an honest answer. Do you feel
No,
that
sorry, first of all,
Rahil
my
Sharif
question.
should get
I
an
said-
extension? No. I just ask you and the Pakistani panelists, do you feel that Rahil Sharif should get an extension? My question two is that do you endorse Imran Khan's call for resignation of Nawaz Sharif? Third, do you endorse the view that jihadi tanzeems as demanded by Imran and others, they should be brought into the political fold? Now these are three questions. Answer straight. One is continuation was Nawaz Sharif.
Answer
Second
on the
is
basis-
Rahil
on the
Sharif
basis
extension,
of what
and
you
third
said.
is jihadi tanzeems. Now these three questions will expose you if you answer it honestly. And don't say, no, it is in Pakistan, we don't know, and who will decide, and then you should have come for the discussion.
That's what she said. That's the word she used, propaganda.
Just answer these three questions.
Yeah.
To your question about Rahil Sharif, I'm a journalist. I do not have an opinion. I'm just supposed to report the facts.
Wow.
But if you talk about the public, yes, the public. I'm talking
But you
on
have too
behalf
much.
of the public.
You have
Yes,
too much
the
of
public-
opinion on India.
Okay, RSN, let her respond.
The public does want Rahil Sharif's extension, and the support has been seen across Pakistan. And the work that Rahil Sharif has done is always acknowledged and appreciated in Pakistan. So the public does want his extension.
And no surprises there.
That's the
Yeah, of
answer to
course,
your
we
first
know.
question.
No surprises there
No
at all,
surprises
isn't
there.
it?
Yeah.
Sushant Sareen, no
Yeah.
surprises there. If that
I know.
indeed is the case,
But,
Rahil Sharif
should-
himself
should-
absolutely
should-
desperate to get an
Should
extension.
Nawaz Sharif resign?
Get that
extension, my girl.
Yeah.
Should Nawaz Sharif
There are
resign?
no surprises, but I think
Yeah.
what is what is really sad is when a young journalist like Henna gets taken in by the Pakistani propaganda, and I'll give you some reasons why I say that. She says that Uri attack Pakistan had nothing to do with it. Then why posters in Gujranwala, which very, very credible journalists inside Pakistan have affirmed, at least on social media, they said yes, these posters were there, yes, a Gaibana Namaz-e Janaza was being organized by Hafiz Saeed and company for one of the terrorists who was killed in Uri, in the Uri attack. Now, this can't be an Indian propaganda if Pakistani journalists, people belonging to BBC, Dawn and other newspapers have been talking. Madam, can I now finish? We listen to you. We listen to you, right? Now then you say that you didn't blame us, that you say that the Pakistani side did not blame India for what happened in Quetta this time around. Well, if you would remember, just a couple of months back, there was another attack in Quetta on a hospital out there, and within about half an hour, the chief minister, the puppet chief minister of Balochistan, who's quite a quisling if ever there has been one, came out with this thing, the RAW has done it. Then it turned out that it was a Taliban faction, the Jamaat-ul-Ahrar and other people who took responsibility for it. After that, everything was forgotten.
Yes.
But the whole media, including people like you, I imagine, were carrying out this propaganda campaign for 2 or 3 days, that it was an RAW conspiracy, that the Indians have done it, etc., etc. Then you come down to the attack just a couple of days back.
After an attack,
again the same thing started. That was the narrative inside Pakistan.
Well, Sushant, the point is that it's the same stuff that repeats every single time from their side.
Given a free hand to operate in Quetta because it is one of the allies of the Taliban, the Afghan Taliban, and because you have given the Afghan Taliban a free run in Quetta, you have to give their underlings and their associates also a free run, which is why they were killing the Shias in Quetta for years altogether.
Abid Rao wants to come in. Sushant Sareen,
and then you blame us for it.
Yeah, we need to bring in Abid Rao. I need to start winding up the debate. Abid Rao, just very quickly, last comments from you, and then we go across to Saurabh Shukla.
Yeah. Look, whatever Sushant Sareen has said, I generally agree with that. This game of putting allegations on each other will only stop when there is some kind of minimum level of confidence or trust between our two countries.
Trust?
Every time the bullet is fired at LOC, either by your side or our side, it takes us far and far away from the peace process. So, therefore, this allegation, this blame game has to come to an end only by a political dialogue between the two leaderships.
Yeah.
The questions that were asked, 3 of them, General Rahil Sharif gets an extension or not get an extension, is not our personal opinion. Generally, what Henna has said is correct. There is a public opinion supporting him. Well, he may get it, he may not get it.
Yeah.
Whether Nawaz Sharif loses his government on resignation or he is removed, again an internal matter of Pakistan, nothing to do with India. The public is there, they will put pressure, the Supreme Court is there. Third point is Jihadi Tanzim. They are being eliminated in a process.
Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, quickly, last round between Saurabh Shukla and Henna Saeed. Henna, you spoke. Okay, Saurabh, I'll give you the last word. I'll give you the last word, but I want to put one question because she said, I'm a journalist, I'm supposed to report the facts. Henna, because you say you are a Pakistani investigative journalist, I want to point out a couple of facts and I want to see how you answer, whether you answer as a journalist or you answer like one of the people within your government, and then we will decide what's propaganda, okay? Is Hafiz Saeed a terrorist or not, Henna?
It's your opinion what you...
It's not. Is it my opinion? Is it my opinion? One second. Did America announce a 10 million... One second, Henna, I'm asking you a question. Did America announce a 10 million bounty on Hafiz Saeed? Yes or no, as a journalist?
Yes.
Yes.
And
so why did they announce a 10 million bounty?
Organization. That's how we treat him.
Great.
That's how the media
treats him. So you've accepted the 10 million bounty was on Hafiz Saeed. Great. Awesome.
I want to come
Did UNSC list Hafiz Saeed? One second. Yes.
Accepting a fact.
Exactly. I'm asking you a question and you will accept this as well. Did the UNSC list Jamaat-ud-Dawa as an alias of the Lashkar-e-Toiba in 2008, of which Hafiz Saeed is the chief?
It
did. Then why does your High Commissioner and your government Why does your High Commissioner and your government shield Hafiz Saeed? Why does Abdul Basit say Hafiz Saeed is a free man? He's free to roam around the streets of Islamabad, come close to our ISI headquarters. Why is your country shielding Hafiz Saeed? As an investigative journalist,
if another country,
have you reported
says
on Hafiz Saeed?
I have done that. What I'm saying to you is, what you say is your opinion, what America says is their opinion, what we say is our opinion. If our government
there is no opinion on terror. Hina, I'm very sorry to say, but terrorism and terrorists are not subjective. Either somebody is a terrorist or they are not. This is not subjective.
Hina, first you ask, first you say
I still stand by what you say.
First you say that I'm a journalist, I state facts. I ask you a fact, you concede that it is a fact, and then you say it's your opinion. I'm sorry, how can facts change into opinion? Saurabh Shukla, last response.
I'm saying
this is a problem. Pakistan has to realize that terrorism is a problem for Pakistan. This is a Frankenstein you've unleashed on your people, on the world. Why is that Pakistan is today the supermarket of terrorism? Please realize this is a problem that you've created for your country as well.
Of course it's not Pakistan's problem, Saurabh.
Everything will be fine.
It's not Pakistan's problem, it's nobody's problem. I tell you what, it's nobody's problem.
For the entire world.
Saurabh, it's nobody's problem, and Hina, it's nobody's problem when you feel Hafiz Saeed on the streets of Islamabad to greet India's Home Minister who has landed there on your request.
In Pakistan, you have been sheltering them, harboring them. This is the problem. If you stop harboring them, everything will be fine.
Yeah, we started this program. Saurabh and Hina completely running out of time. Saurabh, Hina and Shafqat Saeed, Saurabh Shukla and Colonel Shafqat Saeed, we started this program by talking about realities. The realities are there for everyone who's watching this debate. The reality is Pakistan is violating the ceasefire to push terror across the border, and we have proven it time and again, and we will continue to give a befitting reply. Thank you to all our panelists joining us on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.